up, ninjas? Welcome to Yoga with Dojo Cat. Today we are going to do a yin yoga practice because I'm sick and that's all I can handle right now. If you don't know what yin is, it's where we really slow it down. We spend 2 to 5 minutes in each pose. It can be really spicy. I know a lot of people that I know personally don't like yin because it's really uncomfortable, but I love yin personally because it's where I feel like I find the most change in my flexibility. I think yin is a great practice for teaching you endurance and helping you learn to use your breath to get through hard poses. And it's not just a lesson that you can endure hard physical practices, like maybe getting through a hard pad session or a hard roll, because you know, like, I have a physical endurance, I can do this. But you can also apply it to other parts of your life, like emotional situations. If you know that you can be comfortable with being uncomfortable in a physical situation, it helps you kind of apply that to other areas of your life. So I really love yin, and I encourage you to give it a try today. If you get really uncomfortable, just remember there is a fine line between being uncomfortable and real pain. So if you have like shooting pain in any of these poses, you need to pull it back a little bit. But if you are really uncomfortable, but you know that it's not something that's causing you harm, then I encourage you to hold it and just breathe through it. And I'm here to help guide you through that. So let's just get into it. There are some props that you need today. First of all, a cup of tea is very important for me because I need to be able to talk. You're gonna need a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, that's what I'm sitting on right now. You can use a pillow, and we're gonna start actually using our bolster underneath our bum just to give us some height in this easy pose. It makes the holding the pose a lot easier. You're gonna need a blanket and a couple of blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can use some books, and you need me and I need you, so. Oh, also, we hit 600 subscribers recently. Hi. That's crazy. Welcome. So let's just get into it. I'm just gonna take a nice little sip here. And I'll set that to the side. So we are gonna begin in our easy pose here. So sitting our bum on our bolster or pillow and crossing the legs. Just make sure that your weight is distributed evenly. Already having trouble breathing. And we're gonna roll our shoulders up and down away from our ears. Keep a nice long spine. And we're just gonna begin taking 3 deep cleansing breaths. Just use this as your time to set your intention for this practice. My intention is to take care of myself. So heal up so I can wake up tomorrow feeling nice and healthy. So we're gonna inhale through our nose, pull your shoulders up to your ears, and then exhale, drop those shoulders. All right, we'll go through that 2 more times. Inhale, lift the shoulders. Exhale, drop the shoulders. 1 more time, inhale. Exhale. Beautiful work. We're going to begin with some neck rolls. So you can tuck your chin to your chest. I'm just going to draw a little half circle, taking our neck from shoulder to shoulder. And then we're going to draw nice big circles, bringing our chin all the way to the ceiling, to the opposite shoulder. Coming back to that original shoulder and then switching directions. Beautiful. Come back to center. We're going to give our shoulders a little bit of love. Let's roll them up and down away from our ears, going backwards. And switch directions, going forwards. Beautiful. Okay, let's just take 1 second. 1 hand on our belly, 1 hand on our heart. Focusing on that breath, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Anytime you feel your mind wandering at any point today, maybe you have a big to-do list, maybe you're thinking about work, But let's just bring our mind back to our breath and how our body is feeling on the mats. Also, I want you to take note of how your body feels right now before we even get really into the practice. Think about how your hips feel, how your back feels. How do your muscles feel? Are they feeling tight right now? And then we'll come back to that later at the end of the practice and see how you feel. All right, so we are going to go into a supported garland pose. So we'll bring our bolster across our mat. Sorry, I'm just gonna take one quick sip here. Oh, little cat hair attached to my cup. And then we are going to bring our feet a little bit wider than our hips with our toes facing out. And we're gonna bring that bolster underneath us to offer us some support. If you're using pillows and they aren't quite high enough, you can feel free to grab your blocks and just take it underneath. You need a little extra support. So we're gonna sit our bum on our bolster and bring our elbows into our knees here. Now, usually when we do our garland pose, I tell you guys to keep your spine nice and straight and not hunch over. But in this yin variation, we're going to be rounding our spine and folding forward. So from here, I want you to take a nice deep cleansing breath in and exhale, fold forward and bring your hands to the mat in front of you. If you like, you can grab your blocks and place them in front of you on the lowest setting here and just use them as something to hold on to as you lean forward, and really make your head heavy, relax it, let your chin touch your chest. And we're gonna be here for a little bit, so just remember when you're uncomfortable, you can of course take little breaks if you really need to, but I encourage you to try to breathe through it. So every time you inhale, think about creating space in the areas that you're feeling the most tension. And when you exhale, let that tension go. If you like, you can close your eyes with me. You can slowly blink your eyes open and really slowly lift your chest up from that forward fold. We're gonna shift ourselves forward and straighten our legs. You can bring those blocks underneath your shoulders and turn those toes in, and we'll just relax in a forward fold here. And you can sway side to side just to let go of any tension you might be feeling in your legs and your hips. And while we're here, we're gonna nod our head yes. and shake our head no. And then find some stillness. If you like, you can just ragdoll by tucking your elbows, sorry, your hands into your elbows. Take one more breath in this pose. Beautiful. All right, we'll come down onto our knees here. And just sit on your heels. Take a second here for yourself. Breath in. Slow breath out. I'm going to take a little second here for a sip of tea. You can move that bolster out of the way. Just move it back here. And we are going to take our blanket, fold it up, and place it in the center of our mat here for some knee support here. And we're going to take our blocks in our hands and bring your left foot forward. So we're going to take our blocks here on our highest setting and just hold on to them for now. And I want us to really think about tucking that tailbone underneath. You should feel a pretty intense stretch in this right hip flexor, and you're going to feel this in your quad as well. We're going to stay up high for about half of the time we'll be in this pose, and then we'll shift onto our elbows if you want. Of course, you don't have to do everything that I say. All right. Just make sure that that knee is stacked over top of your ankle. It's really important that we make sure that we're properly aligned in these nice slow poses so that when we do faster flows, that alignment comes a lot more naturally. Okay, ninjas, you have the option to stay right here in this low lunge position, or if you'd like to join me, we're going to move our foot to the outside of our mat and take that left hand inside of our foot. And then from here, depending on your flexibility, I'm going to keep my blocks on the highest setting because I'm not super flexible in my hips, but I'm going to come all the way down to my elbows. This really takes the intensity up in those hips, so I'm really uncomfortable. My left side is not very flexible, so I feel like I wiggle around a lot on this side. Bring those thoughts back to your breath. Nice big inhale through the nose and long exhales through the mouth. Let go of that tension. Think of softening those muscles, relaxing into the pose, sinking your hips into it. Take 5 more breaths from here. Well done, ninjas. Okay, we're really slowly gonna come back onto our hands and then slowly shift your hips back, bringing that leg back underneath us. And we're just gonna take a second here to sit back on our heels. Just take a second and think about how that left side feels right now compared to the right side. My right hip flexor is on fire right now. So we're just gonna even that out. So when you are ready, let us take that to the other side. So we're gonna take that right leg in between our blocks. Just adjust, making sure that knee is over top of your ankle. And we'll stay nice and high. Our blocks on the highest setting and really sinking into those hips, setting that left hip flexor on fire. I'm actually just gonna take a quick little sip here. Maybe you want to stay right here in this low lunge position, or maybe you'd like to join me in that lizard pose. So we'll take that foot and just heel toe it to the outside of our mat. And we'll take a nice deep breath and exhale as we come down onto our elbows on our blocks. This side feels a lot easier for me. I'm not gonna like wiggle around in discomfort as much as I do on the other side. Just relax, sinking into the pose, accepting that you're gonna be here for a little while. Bringing your mind back to the breath, creating space, releasing tension. Your mind is probably battling with you right now, telling you to shift out of this pose. But I really want you to sit with this discomfort, right? That without being uncomfortable, there is no change. So, mind over matter. If you tell yourself that you can make it through a pose, despite what maybe your subconscious is telling you, you can do it. All right, we're really slowly gonna bring our hands to our blocks and shift our hips backwards. And then bring that leg behind you and sit on your heels. Nice deep breath in through the nose. Release it out as a nice long sigh. Okay, we are going to move this blanket from under our knees and move the blocks as well. We don't need them for this pose. And we'll just put it back here. And we're going to take our bolster to the center of our mat, vertical. And we're going to take our left hip and place it against the bolster. And we're going to bring our knees into this 90-90 position. So our left knee is horizontal in front of us. If you can't quite get it like perfectly horizontal, that's fine. I find on my left side, my heel is really close to my groin, just like in pigeon pose. And then our right leg is going to be at a 90-degree angle beside us. We'll take a nice deep breath in from here. Exhale. And then we're going to turn our torso towards our bolster and bring our left hand outside of it and our right hand on the other side. We'll take another deep breath in and exhale. We're going to fold over top of our bolster, bringing our tummy and chest to the bolster. Lying down as much as you can. Take any adjustments you need to get comfortable, but extend those arms out as much as is comfortable for you. And you can keep laying with your gaze facing over that right shoulder. Or if you'd like to intensify this twist, you're just going to take your gaze and take it over the left shoulder. So just take a second, try it. If it's too intense, bring your head over the right shoulder instead. Take 5 more breaths in this position. And when you're ready, if you had your head facing the other direction, we'll bring it back over the right shoulder. And we'll bring those hands under our shoulders and slowly press ourselves up back into that 90-90 position. We're going to take our left hand to our right thigh and our right hand to the mat behind us and gaze behind that right shoulder. And release that twist. We're just going to turn to the other side. Right hand to left knee, gazing over that left shoulder. Release that twist. You can just take that right hand to that right knee, extend that left arm to the sky, and then bend over to the right. Getting a nice stretch in that left side body. And release that twist. We're going to turn away from our bolster and just make sure that it's lined up with that lower back. And we're going to lay down on it and extend our arms out into a cactus pose. Or you can bring them into a T, depending on the space that you have for a modified fish version. So there's a couple things that you can do with your knees. If this is already pretty intense for you, you can keep your legs bent. You can straighten them. Or if you'd like a little extra love on your hips, you can bring the soles of your feet together in a butterfly pose and just whoop, and just let your legs fall open. Take one deep breath all together and exhale. Beautiful. We're going to take that twist to the other side. So if you were in that butterfly pose, just bring those knees together and really gently sit up. Let's just take 1 second here to enjoy a sip of tea together. All right. So I'm just going to shift this so you guys can still see me do the pose. But we are going to take our right hip to the bolster this time and bring our legs in that 90-90 position. So right leg is horizontal with the wide part of your mat. And the left leg is at a 90-degree angle. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And we'll turn our torso towards that bolster. Right hand on the right side of your bolster, left hand on the left side. And then take a deep breath in and exhale. Fold over that bolster, bringing your chest and tummy to the bolster. And then you can keep your gaze going over this left shoulder, or if you'd like to intensify it, take your head and turn it in the opposite direction. Just keep in mind that your flexibility is going to be different on one side, and that's okay. It's totally normal. So if you find that maybe turning your head to the other side, your right side is more uncomfortable, just trust your body and be where you need to be. head is facing the other direction, we'll just take it over the left shoulder. And then you can shift your hands under your shoulders and gently sit up back into that sitting position. We'll bring that right hand to the left knee, left hand to the shoulder or to the mat behind you, and gaze over that left shoulder. And we'll take that twist to the other side, left hand to right knee, gaze over that right shoulder. Release that twist. We'll extend that right arm to the sky and exhale, bend over to the left, stretching out that right side body. And release that side stretch. Turn your back to your bolster, bringing it in between your shoulder blades, and we'll lay back into that modified modified fish pose. And then this time maybe you take hold of your wrist, and then whatever variation you feel like doing with your legs on this side. And all together, one more deep breath in this pose. Exhale, side up. You can bring your knees together, release your wrist. We're going to really gently sit up, and we're going to go into our Shavasana pose here. So we'll take that bolster underneath our knees. You can also place it under your head if you like. We're actually going to take our blanket just to get a little extra cozy. Cover ourselves as good as comfortable as you can. We're going to lay back down on our backs. And as always in the Shavasana, just go back to that question of how your body felt in the beginning of class and take note of how it feels now. You're probably feeling a lot more open. You've released tension in your hips and your shoulders and your lower back. And I know it's really easy to let your mind wander in Shavasana. So just bring your mind back to your breath, inhaling through the nose, feeling the cool air run down the back of your throat, and then exhaling out nice and warm. Think about your belly rising and falling with every breath. And use those exhales to relax your body even more. Soften the muscles in your forehead and around your eyes. Unclench your jaw. Pull your shoulders down and away from your ears. Release any tension you might be feeling in your glutes. Relax your quads. Soften your calves. And let your feet relax. And just take this couple of minutes that will be here for yourself, soaking up all the work that you just did for your body. Now, if you'd like to stay in your Shavasana a little while longer, you can feel free to pause this video. If you're ready to wake up with me, you can wiggle your fingers and your toes and slowly blink your eyes open. And we'll just turn onto our right side and bring our knees up to our chest. Bring an arm overhead to use as a pillow, and we'll just stay here for a couple more breaths. And you can really slowly press yourself up into a comfortable seated position, maybe back on your bolster like we started class with. And that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me and bearing with me as I work my way through this cold. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I would love to have you in my little dojo. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, you can follow me on Instagram at dojacat713. And great work for coming to the mat today to take care of your body. It's really important, especially as athletes. And let me know what you thought of this yin practice. I will see you guys next time. Os.